How to supercharge your confidence. Welcome to this video. I'm very excited over the next few minutes to really share with you some practical ways that you can boost your confidence, supercharge your confidence, and achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. So, are you ready? Are you feeling confident? Well, first thing we're going to do, let me just give you a quick overview. We're going to really look at what confidence is. There's kind of a clue there. Then we're going to look at the two different types of confidence that you really need to have. We're going to look at what stops people. This is a word you might not have ever heard of it. It's excuse-itis, which is inflammation of the excuse-making gland. We're going to show you how to break free from what is holding you back. Then a few simple, actionable steps that are going to help you to start getting some results immediately. Show you how to just get started. Look, this is a very important topic, as you'll find out in a few moments. And it's very easy to give you way too much information. I really want to simplify this, because it can be simplified to the point where you can actually go and do something. Because I really want you to take something positive from this rather than thinking, wow, that was really inspiring and I really enjoyed it. I learned something. Learning is great, but the best thing to do with what you learn is to apply it. And that is what I'm looking for. So what actually is confidence? Well, if you want to look at the origin of the word, it comes from a Latin word, confidere, which means intense trust. Trusting yourself and your ability to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. And when we talk about the two types of confidence, there really is. The first one is your ability to do whatever it is that you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Your ability to be who you are, to be in the various roles that you play in your life, to feel comfortable about who you are, which is a challenge in itself. And the next type of confidence is your ability to achieve what you want to achieve in the future. And really, what's so fascinating about all of this is a slight aside, but it is still very important. How many times in your life do you think you have said you are going to do something and you didn't do it? How many times? Once? Twice? Probably, like most people, way too many times. The reality of how the brain works is the brain remembers. And this is why it's quite hard for us to take action, because there's a part of our brain that's going to go, well, look, hang on. You've tried to do this in the past and it hasn't worked. So why bother? Or let's just not put too much effort into this because it's not going anywhere. Perhaps you're one of those people that's decided to get fit, or you've decided to write a book or start a business or learn a language, and you started with great intention and you said, I'm going to do this every single day. And after a few days, your initial enthusiasm just went away and your good intentions went out of the window. So this might sound really simple, but it's very powerful. Become the person who does what they say they're going to do, and start to build those type of memories into your mind, because by doing that, you will become a more confident person. And let's just be totally honest here. This isn't a like one-time fix. I'm fixed, I'm confident. It's really something that you've got to work on. You know, one of the videos that we did was an interview with Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6-time snooker world champion. The way that he has become confident is by practicing, by going to work on himself. And ultimately, this is the challenge that we all face, because the easiest thing you can do with any of this information is just go, oh, that's nice, but go back to what you know. Go back to what is familiar. We can change. And of course, it probably will become as no surprise to you that one of the reasons we don't push on is that we make excuses. Excuse-itis, inflammation of the excuse-making gland. So how many times in your life have you excused yourself? It's truly fascinating of what goes on inside our minds, because there is a part of us that wants us to move forwards in many cases, but there's also a part of us that wants us to stay where we are, because you know what? We've tried that in the past and that didn't work. So we better just stay where we are, because we also don't want to stand out there and have a go at doing something and actually fail. The real question I really want to ask you, as someone who loves to coach people and has coached people from all walks of life, is do you really want to break free? You could go and listen to that song by Queen if you like. Maybe it will inspire you about the idea of breaking free from what you've done in the past. Because if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. And what I'm about to say to you is probably one of the most powerful things I will ever say to you. And if you just take this idea away and you act upon this idea, I promise you, your life will never, ever, ever be the same. You will change like you couldn't even believe. You don't have to believe me, you just need to do something about it. So let me ask you this question. How many people do you think there are in the world right now? Well, you could go and Google it. There's a lot. How many of those people do you think right now are thinking about doing something? They want to do something, but guess what? They don't feel like it. And because they don't feel like it, what do you think they're going to do? One of three things. They'll either do it, which is unlikely, because most of us in the world today act very much on our feelings. If we don't feel like doing something, we won't do it. We'll either not do it, which is very likely, or we'll kind of do it, but we'll do it half-heartedly and not enjoy the process. Does this make sense? Now, what type of person do you want to be? Because this is the real key. I wrote a best-selling book about being inspired. Being inspired, which means something in front of you that you want to actually do. And then someone said to me, inspiration is for amateurs. And I kind of questioned, I said, what do you mean? And I heard what he said, and he made a really good point. The point is this: don't wait to feel inspired. Don't wait to feel motivated, especially if what you're about to do requires some form of effort. Because there's a part of your brain that's going to go, don't expend effort, don't expend energy, hold on to the energy. What we've really got to do, if you really want to break free, first off, you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know that waiting to feel something is a recipe for disaster. Because the feelings that you want, a great example of this is exercise. Very few people often feel like exercising. When they think about it, they think of pain, they think of discomfort, they think of sweat. But some people think about what they're going to get if they do something that isn't comfortable to them. They start to think about the consequences of their actions. Now, of course, you know this, but it's really important just to become aware of this. And I dare you to do this tomorrow morning. When you wake up in the morning and your alarm goes off, or if you're one of those people that wakes up before your alarm, just observe the debate that's going on. Because the debate starts like between two different people that are in your head. One that wants you to stay where you are because it's nice and it's warm, and the other that goes, let's get up. And what we have to do is we have to minimize that time. But of course, guess what? You don't have to do anything. You clearly don't have to do anything. But if you did, if you just got up, if you started to take the action necessary to get out of your own way, you'll notice that your life changes, and you'll also notice that the feelings that you want, the feelings of achievement, the feelings of fulfillment, the feelings of energy will come because you acted. So first off, it's imperative to know what is going on, to know you are not alone. And by the way, a lot of people, when they do what they didn't feel like doing, afterwards, guess how they feel? They feel confident. What does confidence mean? You know, right? It means intense trust. It comes from this Latin word, as I said, confidere, learning to trust yourself by you doing what you say you're going to do. You can't buy this. This is something that you have to sell yourself and consume it yourself as you just, most people know what this emblem is, right? Most people have heard of the words, just do it, right? You've heard of Nike, or Nike, depends how you say it. One of the most famous brands in the world. Their phrase, just do it. The hardest thing to do is just get started. Once you get started, it's like the activation energy comes to you. So look, this is a really simple thing to do. It's a really simple thing not to do. And I dare you, if you really want to supercharge your confidence, you now know what confidence is. It's about trust, learning how to trust yourself. There are two types of confidence: your ability to do what you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and your ability to achieve your goals, dreams, and ambitions. Perhaps we'll do another video in the future where we do a deeper dive into that. But this is the start. This is what we want to start building, that you break free from making excuses. You don't wait to feel anything. You act based on wanting the result, wanting the feeling that you're going to get, and just get started. This word here, bias, what I mean by this is having a bias towards action, a bias towards something. Notice how much of your time, awareness, how much of your time is spent in no man's land, where you're not really doing anything, which is where so many people are in the world today. And if that's where they want to be, well, that's their choice. But what about you? You must be watching this video because you want to be confident. And this is a massive step in the right direction. So what is your biggest takeaway from what I've said? Become the person who does what they say they're going to do. Build trust in yourself, have a bias towards action, and just get started. If something takes you less than 2 minutes to do, don't put it off, just do it, and notice how much better you feel. I want to thank you for watching this video. Excited to deliver content to inspire you to go from where you are to where you want to be. We know a wonderful, great life, it doesn't happen, guys, by chance. It happens by design. Let's go and design that life today.